Welcome back, students, in the third part of chapter number 7 of Social Science. The name of the chapter is Gupta Age and Other Rulers. Till now, we have seen the prosperity and progress of Chandragupta, or we can say Gupta dynasty, and we also have read about the end of Gupta dynasty. Now, we are moving ahead to the administration of Gupta age. How Guptan rulers administered their empire. We get information about administration during Gupta age from records, smritis and Puranas. So from where we get information? From records, smritis and Purans. Accordingly, the governing body was divided into three sections: central, provincial and local. Now, for the ease of administration, they divided into three sections, and the three sections were central, provincial and local. Emperor was at the center of Gupta administration, means the whole power has emperor. He adopted titles like Maharaja Dhiraj, Param Bhagwat. Now, emperor himself was the center of this administration, means he was the head of the whole administration, and he adopted the title Maharaja Dhiraj, as I already discussed also in previous session, and Param Bhagwat. The army chief was called Mahabaladhikrit. The minister of external affairs was called Mahasandhi Vigrahak. Chief of palaces and gates guards were called Mahapratihar. Mahaashwapati was the chief of cavalry army, and chief of army of elephants was called Mahapilupati. Pushpatal was appointed to take care of documents of the state. Now see the names given to the different chiefs of army. That the army chief was called Mahabaladhikrit. Bal means strength. The minister of external affairs, means who looks after the external affairs, he was called Mahasandhi Vigrahak. And chief of palaces and gate guards, they were called Mahapratihar. Mahaashwapati means chief of the army, which was army of horse, the soldiers which fights on horses. The chief of that army was called Mahashwapati, and chief of army of elephants means जो elephants पर बैठकर जो फाइट करते थे, उनके चीफ को बोलते थे महापिलुपति. एंड पुष्पटल was appointed to take care of documents, means whole documents of the state was taken care by Pushpal. Now, Mahaashwapati was the chief of cavalry army, and Pushtapal was appointed to take care of documents of the state. Now, usually prince was appointed as the head of the province. Kumaratya and commissioner played a major role in the province. Now, usually what happens? The prince was appointed as the head of province, means the whole we can say the whole area is divided into, I already discussed that, divided into three, that is central, provincial and local. Province means areas, छोटे छोटे areas, जैसे अभी district होते हैं ना, like that. तो and this province was headed by the prince. Kumaratya and commissioner played a major role in the province. Means Kumaratya and commissioner was the main have the main role. The province was called Bhukti. वो छोटे छोटे एरियाज जो डिवाइडेड होते थे ना, जिसको हम प्रोविंस, उसको बोलते थे भुक्ति. Whose head was regional. The province was divided into districts. The district was called Vishay. जैसे अभी डिस्ट्रिक्ट होते हैं ना, वी हैव डिस्ट्रिक्ट दैट we have divided our government in village, then district level, then taluka level, like that. At that time also districts were there, and district was called vishay. A committee was formed at the village level which included elders, village heads, and important adult citizens. Like nowadays also, I taught you that in government we have village panchayat, in which sarpanch is the main person or head of the committee. Like that, in that era also, in Gupta dynasty also, they have made committee at the village level, and this committee includes elder, village heads, and important adult citizens. Now, next is economic condition during Gupta age. In economic terms, Gupta age was a golden period. Farming, internal trade, and international trade will very developed. Now, in Gupta age, if we see the prosperity and peace we have seen. Now, economically also it is very strong, or it is, this age was also called golden period. Farming, internal trade, as well as international trades were also developed at that time. Special farming practices included annual, 3-year and 5-year farming was practices at that time also. Wheat, rice in North India, sugarcane in Gandhar, grapes and kesar in Kashmir, and coconut in Kamrup were grown. Means these crops were grown in, or we can say this farming were practices during this time. Means rice in North India, sugarcane in Gandhar, and grapes and kesar in Kashmir, and coconut in Kamrup. All these crops were grown at that time. Rice was grown in large quantity in Bengal, cotton in Gujarat and Sindh, and silk was produced in Bengal. Trade of condiments and spices, silk and cotton had developed in South India. Now, not only in these states, but rice was also grown in large quantity in Bengal, cotton in Gujarat and Sindh, and silk was produced in Bengal again. Trade of condiments. Condiments means chaat masale, and spices. Silk and cotton had developed in South India. Means all this was developed, and so this was the development of economy at that time. King used to tax 1/6 of the total production land was donated to Brahmins and temples. Now king was taking tax 1/6 part of the production, and it was donated to Brahmins and temples. International trade was the epitome of Gupta age. International trade was also developed in this age. Cotton, silk, and spices were exported to Europe from India through Central Asia. Means through Central Asia, spices, cotton, and silk were exported to Europe. This shows the international trade at that time. Means Gupta dynasty also has built relationships with other countries. While cotton, silk, spices, condiments, and timber were exported to east and west of the world through international ports like Khambat, Bharuch, Sopara, and Tamralipti. Means these were the ports from where the goods were exported to other countries. Gold, silver, and other items were imported. And from other countries at that time, gold, silver, and other items were imported. Means export-import business was developing in that era. Now next, let's move ahead to religious status. Hinduism and Indian culture are seen in full swing during Gupta age. Indian culture was seen in full swing. मतलब अपने पूरे अंदाज में इंडियन कल्चर उस वक्त डेवलप हो रहा था. द गुप्ता एम्परर्स गेव वैश्विज्म the status of state religion. Gupta emperors gave Vaishnavism. As a result, Vishnu is avatars, Sri Ram and Sri Krishna were mostly worshipped at this time. Now, Vaishnavas worshipped Sri Ram and Sri Krishna, which were the, or which considers as the avatars of Lord Vishnu, and they worshipped mostly at this time. Even the goddess Lakshmi was also famous due to Goddess Lakshmi is the wife of God Vishnu, Lord Vishnu. It was during this time only that Ramayana, the Mahabharata as well as the Puranas were recompiled. Means in this period, Ramayana, Mahabharata and Puranas, all these are recompiled. Srimad Bhagavad Gita became very important text of this time. Srimad Bhagavad Gita was the important text of this time. Like Vaishnavism, Shaivism also developed during Gupta age. In South India, Shaiv saints were called Nainar, while Vaishnav saints were called Alvar. Now, not only Vaishnavism but Shaivism also developed in this Gupta age. And in South India, Shaiv saints were called Nainar and Vaishnav saints were called Alvar in South India. Mahishasur Mardini means goddess Durga was also quite popularly worshipped here in South. The worship of Kartikeya was also practiced during Gupta age. Now you all know about the Kartikeya. Who was Kartikeya? Yeah, Kartikeya was the son of Lord Shiva and goddess Parvati. So he was also practiced during Gupta age. Means worship of Kartikeya was also practiced during Gupta age. Even Buddhism and Jainism also developed during Gupta age. Samudragupta was protector of Buddhism. Mahayana and Hinayan cult of Buddhism also developed. Now, not only Vaishnavism or Shaivism, but as I already told you that Chandragupta too respects all other religions also. So even Buddhism and Jainism also developed in this period, means during Gupta age. Samudragupta was the protector of Buddhism, and Mahayana and Hinayan cult of Buddhism also developed. Means this shows the development of Buddhism and all other religions, and this shows that here in Gupta dynasty all religions are equal and equally respected. Let's move ahead to cultural condition during Gupta period. Gupta age was culturally golden age of India. It was considered golden age of India. Many new languages developed during this age. Means already we have languages, but during this age many new languages were developed. Kalidas, Skandaswami, Hariswami and Rani Vijaya and Aryasur were important literatures. The important literatures of this period were Kalidas, Skandaswami, Hariswami and Rani Vijaya and Aryasur. Among all them, Kalidas was the best, and Kalidas is called the Shakespeare of India. Taking story of Indian epics, he wrote epics like Abhigyan Shakuntalam, Raghuvansham and Meghadutam. These were the writings of Kalidas, and Kalidas is also called the Shakespeare of India, and he was the best literature of that era. Gupta age was era of temple architecture. Now this era was also the era of temple architecture. Gop in Gujarat, Parvati temple of Nachna, Kothar and temple of Jhansi are the first brick temples of India. So in this period the first temples built that were Gop in Gujarat, Parvati Temple of Nachna Kothar, and Temple of Jhansi. These temples were the first brick temples of India. Means during this period, first these temples were constructed. The Gupta age marks the beginning of the temple architecture. The idols of Durga, Buddha, Krishna, and Shiva were made in large number. In this period, these temples were the marks of the beginning of Gupta age. Means when the Gupta age started, these are the markable architecture of that era, and idols of Durga, Buddha, Krishna, and Shiva were also made in large number during Gupta age. So this was all for today. We will meet soon again in our next session. Till then, bye bye. Take care.